The movie Wind River, in which a Native American woman was beaten, raped, and died, was inspired by true events of missing and murdered Indigenous women. At the movie's end, a title card says, "While missing person statistics are compiled for every other demographic, none exist for Native American women." Representative Gina Mosbrucker rented the movie after a high school friend contacted her.
I have a friend from high school who was getting her tribal card in Oregon, and going through that process, she was learning a lot about the culture and the tribe. And she called and said, "You need to fix this." She said, "There's Native American missing women from Oregon. We don't know where they're at. We don't know exactly where they're being. We just know that they're missing."
Soon after, Mosbrucker walked into the Capitol Rotunda, where more than 100 tribal members were conducting a ceremony complete with drums and a large fishing net from the Columbia River.
They literally came out of the river and had big letters that said Native American missing and murdered women. So I knew after 3 signs we needed to do something immediately.
It was that night that Mosbrucker met Earth Feather Sovereign, a Native American woman from the Colville Confederated Tribe.
She had her full tribal wear on. She was carrying a willow stick that looped over the top that was about 6 feet tall, and it was tied back to itself, and it had numerous red rags tied around it, and each one represented a missing member of families within her tribe.
Earth Feather had been trying to get help for more than a decade, marching from Canada to the state capital to bring awareness to the issue. With approval from the chairman of the Yakama Nation, Mosbrucker authored legislation that rapidly moved forward toward the end of the 2018 session.
There were enough that explained and it convinced the committee how important this was. We passed it unanimously, went all the way through the process on the House, passed unanimously 98-0, started over, of course, in the Senate.
And the bill reached the governor's desk. The measure required the Washington State Patrol to work with tribal law enforcement and the governor's Office of Indian Affairs to increase state resources for reporting and identifying missing Native American women throughout the state. 8 meetings were held with the tribes.
We toured the eight cities, the 8 places, and we listened. There were over 300 members, family members, for 4.5 hours that talked to the governor's office representative, myself, and Captain Monica Alexander in Yakima, for example, and just told us 3.5 hours of heartbreaking testimony about how their loved ones just turned up missing.
Rather than to wait until June of 2019 to act as the bill had recommended, Mosbrucker moved forward with a new bill. Standing in a group that included Monica Alexander from the State Patrol, Earth Feather Sovereign, her daughter Rainbow, and other legislators, including Deborah Lekinoff, a new state representative with Native American heritage, Mosbrucker submitted House Bill 1713.
And it simply adds 2 tribal liaisons in Washington State Patrol's office to reach out to the tribes whenever they're missing someone and make sure we walk them through the process, make sure their loved ones are uploaded. And it also creates a protocol that the state will hand out available to all law enforcement that would make it so we're all doing the same thing when we search for a missing loved one on or off reservation.
Earth Feather and other tribal members testified during the committee hearings. She watched from the House gallery as the bill came up for a vote. Representative Mosbrucker, a Republican, and Representative Lekinoff, a Democrat, testified together in the Senate committee hearing.
I think finally, I feel like I've been assigned with this bill to move mountains, and so my job today is to show you that these mountains can be moved, so I'm asking for your help to pass this bill.
3 images keep Mosbrucker going.
The first image is of a red dress sewn by the tribes that's tied to overpasses. There's no one in the red dress, it's just a red dress hanging in the wind. It's a symbol of the Native American missing woman who should be in there. The other image has to do with a handprint of paint across the mouth of a Native American woman. And the third one is a 12-year-old Native American woman who's holding a sign that simply says the words, "Am I next?"
It's heartbreaking work, and we're trying to move forward as fast as possible. We don't want to wait until the State Patrol reports out in June of 2019. We know answers, we know ways we can fix and help now, today.